areas or domains of the human life. We have economic domain, health domain, domain of education, youth, environment and infrastructure, or ecology and infrastructure, local self-government, and the social life, sport, protection, and groups on the margins of the society. I have to say that the grades that you have given were from 1 to 5. It is very interesting that in Greece 5 was the biggest problem and 1 was the lowest problem. And it is very interesting that the highest grade in Greece was around 3. So it means that in all the domains they have no problems. After that was Bulgaria. Bulgaria was around 4. So there are problems everywhere that were up. And in our country, in Macedonia and in Albania, there were 4.5 and 5 as a grade. So in this domain we can say that there is a great difference of the satisfaction of the citizens, what is like in the first 2 states and what's like in the second 2 states. The results themselves can talk about that. Where you can see pluses or minuses, there are problems that are mutual for all the countries. I can say that with the analysis we have made, we have the numbers. I don't like to talk in numbers now. It can be seen that the economical problems, the problems of demographic domain, the shortage of young people, which are usually migrating, then the environment, the infrastructure and the health system, and the education are somehow dominant at every country, but especially the economic problems. So you can see that at this chart with some posts, you can see that approximately. The lowest problems that the citizens have are the problems of sport, security, and the problems of the groups on the margins. So these groups are not at a very high level. What's the idea and what is the problem here? When the decisions should be made, what of the problems are our priorities? Because after all, something has to be first, has to be priority. They are all very important, but what's the priority? So concerning this, it can be made a lot of decisions. The program that we are going to talk about first I will talk about the basis of the way of making the decisions. Usually when the decisions are made, there are 2 people who are fighting. Whether should be made one or another decision. And when usually the 2 things should be ranked, we have problem with different possibilities for ranking. So on one side are, for example, the quality things, and on the other side are the quantity ones. And it is very difficult these 2 things to be joined together and the decision to be made. Or as all the people say, should be compared to different categories. It is a little bit complicated. What's the most common thing? As you can see, those with the fists are usually the politicians. They usually show their fists and they made the decisions. But it's not actually the real way. when we are in a mood to make a strategic decision to build something. What is the best for the community? Concerning this, in the beginning of the 80s, one very important American mathematician, Thomas Sati, who has spent 20 years of developing one of his theories, has included one process that is called analytic hierarchy process. He has used mathematics where he wanted to join the problems which are different so people can make decisions. The idea is this process to be put in the computer, and you, as the representatives of the citizens, to be able to make evaluation and to see from all the important problems what are the most important problems. So I have to mention that this kind of program is included for the first time, it's applied for the first time, not only in the Balkany, but also in the world, in the local self-government. So it's nothing accidental. It will be used for the first time for a strategic planning in a certain domain in the local self-government. The process itself, it is used by the American Department of Defense. It is used by the car factory Ford, US Navy. Big companies are using this process when they should make strategic decisions for planning of their development. So what we can see about this chart at the highest level is the problem, and most often here we are trying to make a goal, an aim. So it is predicted as the program predicts. The program predicts to tell what